Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss chapter number 13, direct and inverse proportion. Firstly we will discuss the points to be remembered. The very first definition is direct proportion. Two quantities x and y are said to be in direct proportion if they increase or decrease together in such a manner that the ratio of their corresponding values remains constant. Students, suppose we are having any two quantities x and y. If they increase or decrease simultaneously, it means if the value of x increase, then the factor y will also be increased. If the value of x decreased, then the factor y will also be decreased. We can take the examples of direct proportion as the relationship between the number of pencils and cost. Suppose one pencil cost rupees 5. Two pencils cost rupees 10. Similarly, 3 pencils cost rupees 15. As the number of pencils are increasing, with respect to the number of pencils, the cost is also increasing. So this is the kind of direct proportion. Now the next definition is inverse proportion. Inverse proportion is two quantities x and y are said to be in inverse proportion if an increase in x cause a proportional decrease in y in such a manner that the product of their corresponding values remains constant. That is, xy must be equal to constant, or x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Here we can also take one more example to explain the inverse proportion. Suppose 4 persons can complete a particular task in 8 days. Now if I am taking 6 persons instead of 4 persons, then ultimately as the number of persons will increase, the number of days will be decreased. The example is, if 4 persons can complete a particular task in 8 days, if I am taking 6 persons instead of 4 persons, then ultimately the number of days will be decreased. When an increase in one factor cause a proportional decrease in the other factor, then the proportion is said to be inverse proportion. Exercise 13.1, question number 1. Following are the car parking charges near a railway station. Up to 4 hours, the charge is rupees 60. 8 hours, the charge is rupees 100. 12 hours, the charge is rupees 140. And 24 hours, the charge is rupees 180. Check if the parking charges is in direct proportion to the parking time. Now, as we know that if the given information is in direct proportion, then the ratio of the two factors must be constant. Now, we will simply calculate the ratios of all the terms firstly. So, first, I will calculate 4 upon 60. 4 upon 60 can be written as 4 ones the 4, 15 4s the 60, which is equal to 1 by 15. Now, for the second one, 8 hours. 8 upon 100. Now again I will calculate the reduced form of this. 2 4s the 8, 25 4s the 100. This is equal to 2 upon 25. Now we can see from the first two values as they are not same. So we can only say from these two values and the given information is not in direct proportion, as x upon y, that is the ratio of the two factors, is not constant. So we can say that given information is not in direct proportion. Question number 2. A mixture of paint is prepared by mixing 1 part of red pigment with 8 parts of base. In the following table, find the parts of the base that need to be added. Here the table is given as this. Parts of the red pigment is 1, 4, 7, 12 and 20. Here the parts of base. For 1 part of red pigment, 8 parts of base are required, and we are to find out for the values 4, 7, 12 and 20 how many parts of base are required. Now as we know that for 1 part of red pigment 8 parts of base are required, then ultimately as the number of parts of red pigment increases, with respect to this the parts of bases will be increased. So as the two values are increasing simultaneously, so this is the kind of direct proportion. And for direct proportion we know that x upon y must be equal to constant. Now I have taken these values as a, b, c and d, and for this 1 by 8 must be equal to 4 by a. So here I will write 1 by 8 is equal to 4 upon a. Now we will do the cross multiplication. A multiplied by 1 is a is equal to 8 multiplied by 4, that is the value of a is 32. It means for 4 parts of red pigment 32 parts of base are required. Similarly we will find all the values, that is 1 by 8 must be equal to 7 upon b. b multiplied by 1 is b. 8 multiplied by 7 is 56. So it means for the 7 parts of red pigment 56 parts of base are required. Now similarly 1 by 8 is equal to 12 upon c. Again c multiplied by 1 is c. 12 multiplied by 8 is 96. So the value of c is 96. Now similarly we will find out the value of d. It can be written as 1 by 8 is equal to 20 upon d. That is d multiplied by 1 is d, and 20 multiplied by 8 is d is equal to 160. Now for 4 parts of red pigment 32 parts of base are required. For 7 parts of red pigment 56 parts of base are required, and for 12 parts of red pigment 96 parts of base are required, and for 20 parts of red pigment 160 parts of base are required, which are the required values. Question number 3. In question number 2, if 1 part of red pigment requires 75 ml of base, how much red pigment should be mixed with 1800 ml of base? Now again this question is similar to question number 2. Here firstly we will make the table. That is, first is red parts of red pigment. Next is, as the two values are here is parts of base, and in this question the parts of base are given in ml, so here I will write in ml. For 1 part of red pigment 75 ml of base is required, and we need to find out for 1800 ml of base how much red pigment should be required. So here I will take it as x. Now, as the parts of base will increase, ultimately the parts of red pigment will also increase. So this question is again in direct proportion. So firstly, always we will write down whether the question is in direct proportion or in inverse proportion. Now here it is in direct proportion. So x upon y must be equal to constant. So from this definition, we can say that 1 upon 75 is equal to x upon 1800. Now do the cross multiplication. 1 multiplied by 1800 is equal to x multiplied by 75. Now x is equal to 1800 upon 75. 15 5s the 75. 5 3 is the 15, 3 carries, 3 6 0 30, 5 6 the 30, 360. Now 15 2's the 30, 6 0 60, 15 4's the 60. Now x is equal to 24. It means 24 parts of red pigment are required for 1800 ml of base. That is, parts of red pigment is equal to 24 is the required answer. Question number 4. A machine in a soft drink factory fills 840 bottles in 6 hours. How many bottles will it fill in 5 hours? Now, as it is given in the question, machine is filling 840 bottles in 6 hours. It means one is time and the other is number of bottles. Now firstly we will make the table, that is number of bottles and the second one is time. Time is in hours. So here 840 bottles are filled in 6 hours and we wish to find out how many bottles will be filled in 5 hours. I will take it as x. As the time decreases, the number of bottles will decrease. So as the two terms are decreasing simultaneously, so it is direct proportion. So here it is direct proportion. That is, x upon y is equal to constant. So 840 upon 6 is equal to x upon 5. Now it is equal to 840 multiplied by 5 is equal to x multiplied by 6, or we can say that x is equal to 840 multiplied by 5 divided by 6. Now 14 6 the 84, so 0, and 14 5 the 70, 700. It means number of bottles will be equal to 700. 700 bottles will be filled in 5 hours. Question number 5. A photograph of a bacteria enlarged 50,000 times attains a length of 5 centimeter. What is the actual length of bacteria if photograph is enlarged 20,000 times only? What would be its enlarged length? Now the first statement is the photograph of the bacteria is enlarged 50,000 times and it is attaining the length of 5 centimeter. It means here the number of times photograph enlarged and what the length of bacteria is given. So firstly here I will write number of times photograph enlarged. Again we will make the table. Always we will make the table. Next one is length of bacteria. It is given in centimeters. Now write down the values. If we are enlarging the photograph 50,000 times, then it attains the length of 5 centimeters. Now we have to find out what is the actual length of bacteria. It means we are not enlarging the photograph. That is, here we will put 1 as we are taking the actual size of the bacteria. So the photograph is not enlarged. So here 1, and we have to find out what would be the length of the bacteria. So I will write here x. Next condition is if the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times, then what would be its enlarged length? Now here the next is 20,000 times. If we are enlarging the photograph, then what would be the length? We are just taking it as y. Now if we are decreasing the number of times photograph enlarged, then obviously the length of bacteria will decrease. So this is in direct proportion. So x upon y is equal to constant, that is 50,000 upon 5 is equal to 1 by x. Now do the cross multiplication. X multiplied by 50,000 is equal to 5 ones the 5. So x must be equal to 5 upon 50,000. 5 ones the 5, 10,000, 5s the 50,000. So x must be equal to 1 by 10,000, which is equal to 1 by 10 raised to power 4. So we can say that x is equal to 10 raised to power minus 4 centimeter, as the length of the bacteria is in centimeters. So the value of x must be written in centimeters. Next is if we are enlarging the photograph 20,000 times, then what would be the length of bacteria? Again 50,000 upon 5 must be equal to 20,000 upon y. Now it would be 50,000 multiplied by y must be equal to 20,000 multiplied by 5. So y must be equal to 20,000 multiplied by 5 divided by 50,000. So do the simplification. Zeros will cancel each other. 5 and 5 cancel. So y is equal to 2 centimeter. It means if we are enlarging the photograph 20,000 times, then the length of bacteria will be 2 centimeter. So students, this is all about the introduction part of chapter number 13, question number 1 to 5 of exercise 13.1. Thank you.